It's February 1983. Muswell Hill's sewer pipes are stubbornly clogged. Jim the plumber peels back the drain cover only to freeze inside. What looks like human flesh and bones are choking the pipes. Just a day later, Dennis Nilsen sits in a police station, cold and unflinching. When asked if it's one body or two, he shrugs, 15 or 16 since 1978. I'll tell you everything. But what twisted story lurks behind that chilling confession? Under that ordinary Muswell Hill facade was a man with a secret life darker than anyone imagined. Nilsen didn't fit the serial killer stereotype, which made his crimes all the more horrifying. Dennis Nilsen lived quietly in his London flat, a nondescript IT worker with a polite exterior. Yet behind closed doors, he lured young men, mostly homeless or gay, into a fatal trap. His meticulous rituals included strangulation, dismemberment, and attempts to preserve bodies, revealing a disturbing private world only uncovered after his arrest. Nilsen's need wasn't just murderous, it was born from loneliness. He saw death not as an end but as a grotesque form of company. Imagine someone so desperate for connection, they freeze their victims' corpses like souvenirs, turning love into obsession twisted beyond repair. His victims were shadows in society, young gay men dismissed as runaways or drunks. Police and public indifference gave Nilsen years to kill without notice. This dark neglect exposes a brutal social failure, showing how marginalization allowed a predator to hide in plain sight. What was going on in Nilsen's mind? Masters doesn't just chronicle crimes. He dives into the gritty mechanics of obsession, control, and decay that define this murderer's deadly rituals. After killing, Nilsen performed bizarre rituals. He bathed corpses, arranged them in his flat, and even buried bones in the garden. Like a twisted artist, he tried to freeze moments in time, grasping at permanence through death, desperately trying to hold on to something real amid his unraveling sanity. Murder wasn't just rage, it was control. Imagine a puppeteer pulling strings, where life and death bend to his will. Each killing was a perverse assertion of power over his victims, a quiet scream for dominance in a life otherwise unremarkable and powerless. Yet Nilsen's identity was fragmented. Like broken glass reflecting only shards, his memory blurred fact and fantasy. The line between self and other, past and present, twisted, revealing how trauma and isolation can fracture human psyche beyond repair, trapping victims and perpetrator alike. Nilsen's story isn't just about a killer, it's a harsh lesson on societal neglect and the desperate human need for connection. What remains after the headlines fade? Nilsen confessed 15 murders, but many slipped through cracks because victims were marginalized, ignored by law enforcement and society alike. This chilling oversight sparked reforms and awareness about how bias and indifference can literally breed monsters in the gaps. The victims were more than numbers. They were young men erased by stigma and silence. Killing for company reminds us that behind grisly headlines are human lives whose stories demand empathy, not just morbid fascination. Brian Masters set a new bar for true crime writing by collaborating directly with Nilsen. The result is an unflinching, humane exploration of a murderer's mind that avoids sensationalism, urging readers to confront uncomfortable truths about loneliness, evil, and social responsibility. Remember Jim's plumber's discovery, the blocked drain, the horror beneath? That moment wasn't just about uncovering bodies, it cracked open a shadowy world no one wanted to see. Dennis Nilsen's story warns us, don't ignore loneliness or marginalization, they ferment darkness. Next time you notice someone isolated, reach out. Connection can be the difference between tragedy and hope. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.